need to get like a year-round apron because this is very Thanksgiving fall vibes, because that's when I bought this apron. I think this is my first or second apron, but this is the first apron that I actually wear. I want a year-round apron, but for now, this is my apron from Thanksgiving. Welcome to a cooking video. I haven't done a cooking video. I think the last one I did was like 5 years ago on my Mexican rice, and I still get messages about it to this day from people that know me, that have watched the video and still use the recipe today, so that's pretty cool. I am not a chef. I will be speaking English even though I'm Mexican and my first language was Spanish, because it's been years and both of my languages at this point are like iffy, okay? So I'm gonna speak English because I'm just more comfortable talking that way. This tamal recipe I have made up kind of on my own. I based myself off a TikTok video that I saw, which I'm gonna show you which one. So here on TikTok, this is who I first followed her step-by-steps, and then after trying like again and again, I was like changing little measurements here and there. Whatever finally worked for me, I wrote it down and I'm gonna share it with you guys today. But just know that I followed her recipe plus the recipe on the masa. On the tamal masa right here, it'll have a recipe right here. It says preparación de la masa. The ingredients and measurements, it tells you right here. So based on this and the video and me messing around with it, I've got a recipe down. If this recipe doesn't work for you, then it just doesn't work for you. But hopefully it does, and hopefully you all like it. I'm gonna be making tamales de puerco, but Jonathan made the puerco already because I was at work. So if you need a video on that, I can make a video on that, but it's pretty simple. We just put the pork shoulder in the crock pot, and you can literally throw any seasoning that you like in there, but we do onion powder, garlic powder. These two seasonings, you just go ham. And then add water to the top. I don't cut off the fat, I don't take out the bone. I just let it slow cook. The bone will come off on its own, and the fat is really easy to take off once it's all cooked and shreds apart easily. So that's that with the pork. And then I use this red sauce that I made, that I pre-made. All I do once the pork is cooked is I just cook it with this sauce, like on a saucepan. You don't have to boil it forever or anything, it's ready to go. And then that's the carne that's gonna go into the tamales. On to the recipe for the tamal masa. I have a brand new one right here. I got this at Walmart. I had to learn how to make masa because back home they have pre-made masa at your local supermarkets or Mexican stores. In California, they also have pre-made masa at the Mexican stores. Here in North Dakota, they don't have pre-made masa. We just got a Mexican little supermarket and we're super excited about it, but they don't have pre-made masa, do they? You didn't ask?
I didn't ask.
Well, it literally just opened, and I've lived here for 2 years. So I learned how to make this because I wanted tamales. I've been making tamales for 4 years now, but I've only been making my own masa for the last year because, like I said, we don't have pre-made masa out here. Anywho's, all right, so let's get on to the ingredients that you're gonna need for the masa. For the masa, you're going to need, I keep saying masa, but it's maseca.
Well, masa
to make masa? Question mark? Anyways, you need 4 cups of this, okay? 4 cups of that. You're gonna use 1.5 cups of lard. This is what I use because this is what's at my store.
Manteca de puerco. Yeah, this is like its actual manteca.
Oh, I haven't used the manteca de puerco. Why?
Because you always buy
I
that one.
should. Like the one with the green letters, right?
They sell it there.
I don't know why.
I've always wondered why you didn't, but that one was always available.
Yeah, this one was always at home, so I just used this one, but maybe that other one. I don't know the recipes with this one because I haven't tried the other one. Depending on how big or small you make your tamales, this one recipe that I'm giving you right now will give you about 35 tamales-ish. I don't know. I make big papa ones and little mama ones, so it just depends, okay? You're gonna need 2 cups of beef broth. You can either make it yourself with this 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a teaspoon and a half of salt. So I'm gonna be using my stand mixer with this attachment. Not a stand mixer, you don't need a stand mixer to do this, but I'm using it. If you don't have a stand mixer, you could use the hand mixer, or you can use your hands. My mixer is normally not on here, but this is like the prettier side of my kitchen right now, so that's where I put her. But we're gonna start by adding the lard in there, and we're just gonna let it whisk until it gets very soft, until it gets soft and smooth. So let's do that. 1.5 cups. I use a spatula like this. Donde dejé mi se lo perdí. And this is how I measure. So this looks like a crazy lot more than a cup, but if you look in there, there's like a lot of holes. So there's like space in here. So we're doing 1 cup, and then and then we're adding the 1/2 cup in there. Let me show you what it looks like before you beat it. Obviously it just looks like this, and we're gonna mix her for, I don't know, let's say 5 minutes. We have her on 4. Also, I forgot to mention before you start everything, you should probably soak your corn puffs. It's better if you do it the night before, depending on your hojas. The ones I've gotten before have been super hard, and I have to soak them like the day before. But these that are in the new Mexican supermarket that opened up near us are super soft. So I could just start soaking them a few hours ahead of time and they're good to go. So it just depends on your hojas. You want them to be nice and soft so that you can fold them and they don't tear. Okay, it's been like 3 minutes and you can already tell how soft and creamy it looks. Oh my gosh, I have a light right here. Ah! I'm a dummy. So turn for 3 minutes, and I'm gonna grab my spatula and just clean up all the corners, because you want all of your lard to be soft like that. And usually what gets pushed to the walls stays a little hard. So just clean up the walls so all of your lard can be nice and smooth. So we'll do another 2 minutes on here. Also, this mixer is from Walmart. It's the Beautiful brand by Drew Barrymore, if you're wondering, and it was only $100. Okay, so now we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. A teaspoon and a half of salt. Mix it again. Again, I'm gonna clean up the sides just so everything mixes. Look at me like that.
You're talking to me or the camera?
The camera. Thank you for letting me know, my friend. Clean up the walls. Alright. Nada más yo. Nada más yo. No puede faltar el mugrero. Alright. That's all incorporated. Looks nice and fluffy like that. Kind of looks like icing. I'm gonna start adding, this is 4 cups of maseca. And I'm just gonna add a little bit at a time. So I'm gonna add a little bit of maseca. And we're gonna start with 1 cup of water. And I did measure that out. Just 1 cup of water. Not this, but like a measuring cup. Start mixing it. This is what it's looking like. I just want it to mix up a little. I'm gonna add some more maseca. And I'm gonna add 1 cup of red sauce, and I have the measurements right here, so I'm just gonna do 1 cup of red sauce. Oh, it smells so good. That was half of a cup. And that was 1 cup. And we're gonna mix. Okay, and then the last liquid that you need is 2 cups of beef broth, but since my beef broth is super oily, I'm just gonna go ahead and make my own today. So I have 2 cups of water, and I'm gonna put 2 teaspoons of broth, and I'm gonna whisk that together. And you want your water to be warm if you're making your own beef broth. That way it can dissolve. Good. So we're gonna go ahead and add we're gonna go ahead and add the rest of the maseca. One thing about me is I'm gonna make a mess. And we're gonna add the rest of the liquids. We're gonna let that slow. This thing came with a cover, however I've never even used the cover. But I'm gonna let it mix a little, and then I'm gonna scrape the walls. That way it can just be turning evenly. She's getting hot. Is it because of the lights, maybe?
Could be.
And whenever you scrape the walls, you also want to scrape the bottom, just so it can all get incorporated. Let's do 5 for 5 minutes. I never time this. I'm just trying to time it for you guys. 5 for 5 minutes. Turn off my light. This is what it's looking like. And I'm gonna go ahead and scrape the walls again. So basically this equals to the amount of amasando that our family did by hand, okay? But sped up because this machine does it all for us now. This is looking not as red as I want it to look, but okay. Mix for another good 5 minutes. Okay, from the looks of it, I feel like it's a little, I want to say a little too aguado, but we're gonna try it anyways. Normally it's a little thicker. I don't know how to explain it, but if you all know, the way to test your masa is you get a cup of water and you drop your masa in there. And if it floats, it's good to go. Can you see it floated on the first try? Yay! That's when Gordis gives me the thumbs up. He just gave me the thumbs up. I'm excited. So, there it is. That means it's good to go. Like I said, this makes you around 35 tamales maybe. So I am going to make another batch of this. Last time I made tamales, I did 2 batches in one, so like double this. And this little baby was struggling, so I didn't want to stress her out today. So I did this one. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing again. And all I do is just mix it in a bigger bowl, just so the whole masa could be together. And yeah, because I've always made it in 2 different batches, but this last time I got excited, I was like, let me do it all together. And then my baby was struggling, so I'm not gonna do that again. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I will be back to show you guys how I make my tamales. So I made the 2 batches of masa, so those are in here. And then here is my puerco. It's nice and clean and shredded. I go in and I shred it, and I make sure that I take out a lot of the fat. Almost, if I can take it out, I will take it out. I don't like to chew on fat. I know some people do. My mom likes fatty parts. I don't like fatty parts. It gives me like that, I don't know. Anyways, so this is my pork. And in case y'all think that I did not make my pork, here's the fat. Here's the crock pot. And like I said, the pork was very, very oily. That's why I decided to make my own broth today. But normally if you strain or if you pour your broth out into like a bowl and you let it sit there, the fat will separate from the broth, and you can take off that fat layer and then use the broth. But since the carne just got cooked today, it was really, really hot, and I wasn't gonna wait until it separated, so that's why I made my own beef broth today. Anyways, I'm gonna start heating up this carne, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pour the sauce in here. And then over here, I'm gonna add this.
Bring it down?
Yes. Ooh. I have more pork, but I stopped shredding it because I thought I wasn't gonna have enough sauce. But let's see. Why did I decide to go in with these little tiny tongs? Is because these are the tongs I use to put the carne into my tamales. Too hot. Jonathan bought a 10-pound pork shoulder, and like I said, I do take out the fat, so I want to say maybe this is like, you think like 6 pounds?
No, maybe like 8 pounds.
8 pounds of, well, I still have more carne over there, so about 6 pounds, I think. Well, here's the update. I don't know how many tamales. I usually do them by 6s, so I know how many dozens I'm doing. But this pan is bigger, so I just went for it. I don't know how many are here. Anyways, I've been watching my friend live on Facebook, so now let me show you how I make this. I have my masa here. I have my hojas here, and I have my carne right here. And I have my napkins, because once it gets really wet here, I dry it up. So right here is the spot where I embarrar. Donde embarro, no sé.
Embarration?
How do you say? Where I spread. Wow. It's 11:27 on a weekday. I'm tired, y'all. Okay. Each hoja has, wow, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Each hoja has a smooth side and a rough side. You're gonna want to spread it. If you don't know, usually they fold the right way, right? Like they're like this. Anyways, you want the smooth side up. I just press it down. Pretty sure this is a putty knife from the Dollar Tree, like from the home whatever section, because this is a putty knife. Anyways, this is my holy grail, okay? I grab some like this. I go like this. You don't need to have this. You can do it with a spoon. A lot of people do it on their hand, like this. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. So I'm gonna show you the way I do it, okay? I grab some, I put it in here, and I just go like this. I just spread it like this, a nice even layer, and then I like to cut off the top just so it doesn't come out of the top.
Bottom?
Top. This one is a pretty skinny one. I make mine pretty thick, but this one's a skinnier one, so I'm gonna make a skinny.
Wow, that's a lot of meat in one tamal. Why do you use so much meat in one tamal?
Because I like to have meat in my tamal. I hate when I eat a tamal that's like, parece que le vendieron la carne, una tirita de carne. No, here we make big mamas. This one, I mean big papas. This is a little mama, okay?
What?
This is a little mama. Let me show you a big papa over here. A ver. This one opened up, but this one. This one, this is a big papa right here. Okay, let's compare to the little mama. Okay, I'm telling you, all of my tamales are unique. We do not discriminate here. We make big, little, however the hoja comes out is how it gets done. So you just spread. Guys, I've been doing this, like I said, I've been making tamales for about 4 years now. So it's taken a while to find all the little things, like that spatula. These are specifically for this, even though these are like my kids' things from the dollar spot at Target. And you fold it like this. Like this, and then you just stick it over here, pero ya me acabé acá, so you put it right there. Sometimes if they're super big like this, you could just pull it, cut it off, and then we'll do it again. You want to make sure that there's no like corn hairs on it. Also, all of these, we not only soak them, but Jonathan rinses them one by one, because that's just how I like it. Alright, this is gonna be another little mama. How do you feel about my names?
Ridiculous.
¿Pero te gustan o no?
Yeah, they taste good.
They're Gordis approved, okay?
Approved for sure.
Then, okay, this is how I close them, like this. And then I just fold it over. I used to do one and then the other, but I find that this way they're easier to just peel off. Okay. I'm gonna make uno de rajas. Tamales de raja. So rajas means strips, but our store doesn't have those. You distracted me. So these jalapenos are still in vinegar, which that's the point. You can also use just regular jalapenos, cut it into strips, but this is just the easiest way that we do it. And I just use queso Oaxaca and jalapenos. You can use queso fresco. I've used queso fresco before. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I leave the edges also empty and the top. That's just my personal preference. I'm gonna put queso like that, and then I'm just gonna put jalapenos like this, and that's it. You close her up. These are some of my favorite tamales, honestly. One of these with a pork one, oh, so good. It is 11:38. I'm gonna finish up these tamales, and yeah, I hope that this video helps you all out. You think they'll be good if they follow this video?
It tastes good.
Alright, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!